I told you this guy's a genius.
Self-proclaimed, maybe.
Well, as long as it works for him.
Exactly my point.
Awesome.
Cojones. The glorious whatnot. Okay, important things. I'm about to leave the house. I really don't want to. But what I want even less is come back into a mess, right? I mean, it's okay. Alright? Where does this belong? Oh, wait. I'm about to do the dishes. Yeah? This is a very unusual setup, I know. Don't piss your pants. It's not that I just want to keep it like this for the rest of my life, but if you've been following my content a little and you know roughly what's going on in my life, well, you kind of know that I'm making certain choices that help me to grow. Yeah, I've already done that once. And I just want to talk about cleaning and a better way to deal with this is to simply show you that I'm cleaning. Right. I don't have to do it in this way. Just get it out of the way, right? Just get it out of the way. This is not about I really feel like it. This just is about it has to be done. Go and clean your dishes. Do your laundry. I don't know, clean your windows. Dust out your carpet. Wash your bedding. Air out your mattress. Wipe all the handles and stuff. We've been through this a million times. So I'm just gonna make sure that if I come back, you never know. Maybe you suddenly meet someone on the streets and maybe you want to invite them home. It's very unlikely in my case. But I'm just saying, you never know what life has in store for you. Right? Maybe the woman of your dreams wants to know how you're doing. So you have to know how to pick yourself up. You have to know how to pick yourself up in a relationship. You have to know how to pick yourself up when you're alone. And being alone is basically having a relationship with yourself. Which is really weird once you start to realize it, but that's just the way it is. Being alone is having a relationship with yourself. And that means, right, if there's nobody in the room that asks you how you're doing, well, you're in the room And you can ask yourself, how am I doing? And then you will have moments where you think, holy shit, like, why have I been living in such a mess for such a long time? And I'm not even living in a mess, you know, I'm just talking to you. I've already lived in a mess for most of my life, until I got sick of it, and until I learned how to clean properly myself on the inside, right? That's not just about doing the dishes, it's about realizing that maybe the reason why it's hard to do the dishes is because you're just dealing with some emotional stuff. And as you do the dishes, you know, you don't just do the dishes, you basically clean your own emotional, you know, let's just keep calling it shit, for want of a better word. So what this is it's just sorting out shit. You know, realizing, oh wow, you know, what's sadhana, what's dharma? Well, it's basically social duty. That's how you could call it. And social duty starts with yourself. And that's what I learned. You know, nobody's gonna come and save you. At least not in most cases. You have to want to save yourself. You have to want to be saved. And then you realize, well, who am I waiting for? You know, I can save myself. I mean, why do I want other people to save me? You know, I'm just as qualified as the rest of them. It's just that everybody wants to pride themselves, especially people who live their life in this, let's just call it the spiritual trip. Right? Everybody just wants to be the best, no? You know, hey, look at me, I'm the most minimalistic, you know, I don't wear shoes, right? And then you get to points like, yeah, I mean, I do my dishes in the bathtub, you know? How low life do you get? But I'm not even doing it for that. I'm just doing it because I like it, to be honest. And that's the same thing, you know, I meet people that tell me I have a giant ego. Well, maybe yours too small is what I think then. You know, if mine is too big, then I'm sure yours too small. And, I mean, isn't that also a sign of a big ego if you tell me that I have a big ego? Because, you know, why do you allow yourself to judge me? I mean, I don't tell you you have a big ego. You know, I just think, hey, you want to be creative, you want to be an artist, you want to be a content creator, whatever. You want to do something, you want to make music. You know, why does it always have to be, you know, connected to ego? You know, because that's just a word, it means nothing. Because nobody knows what reasons I have, and if you judge me for having a big ego, you know, you just judge yourself. And I just get sick of people projecting all their shit onto me. And then thinking I have to accept it. It's like, what do you mean big ego? I'm just doing my job. You know, I came here with a mission and I'm doing it and I'm good at it. You know, I'm good at doing this stuff. I know that, I'm really good at it. So what does it mean? Well, nothing. You know, as soon as you're good at something, people are gonna say, yeah, you've got a big ego. Yeah, that's just your minority or mediocrity complex. It's probably a made up word, but I don't really care. You know, it's just you feel shit about yourself, and now you have to find something that basically diminishes me, that, you know, hammers in my own presence. And that's just what you have to realize. Yeah, I did just record, you know, resolution or vicious cycle, the one I released on the 1st of January. You know, I first recorded also something where I was talking actually, and then I thought, yeah, I think that's a bit too angry for them. Because what it was basically about was, I mean, what's a vicious cycle? I hear people talk about New Year's resolutions, you know, what are you gonna... It's like, what? What's your pace? I mean, you wait 1 year to come up with something you want to change? I mean, can't you just change it in between? Why would you wait so long to change something? Yeah, because it has to be a New Year's resolution. Yeah, and how many of these do people actually do? I mean, I've said so many times, I want to stop drinking coffee. Yeah, I mean, you know, I want to eat less sugar. Yeah, then just eat less sugar. I mean, why do you have to make it a New Year's resolution? It just makes no sense. You know, you want to do something, just do it. I mean, you can wait for the full moon. You know, you've got one every month, I think. So, what purpose does it have to wait for New Year's Eve to change something? Yeah, and then the same night you said, you know, I'm going to change something, you just get smashed. And then the next day you wake up in this feeling. Instead of waking up like, hey, I can do this, you wake up like, bleh. I mean, that's a vicious cycle. And everybody's stuck in it. Well, the past 2 New Year's Eves, I mostly spend on my own. Just in my room, doing my art. You know, it's not really how I pictured my life, but maybe it is, you know. I wouldn't know what I thought, you know. How did I picture my life as a child? Really, I don't know, right? I can't really say. I just know I'm just recording things, and just put them out there, and you know, it's really annoying if people get overly sensitive about it. Which brings me back to, again, right, there's no comments on my channel, because I don't like people's opinions, you know, especially people I don't know. You know, just keep it to yourself, right? You know, if you think I should change something in my content, then just do it yourself, right? Just get off your high horse. You think I want to hear what you have to say? No, man. You're listening to my content. So why would I know what you want? I don't give a shit what you want. Because if I sit around wondering about what other people want, then I have a problem. Because then I just do nothing. Then I just sit around waiting. And then I think about, well, what do other people want? You know, what kind of content could I create that is going to earn me a lot of money? Well, what kind of content do you want to create? Well, the one that gets me a lot of money. Well, that's not the question. The question is, what do you want to do apart from money? You can still think, well, if I do what I want to do, and I do it good, and I love doing it, what does that mean? It means that if you do something that you like doing, that you want to do, you can just keep doing it. And that's all there is to it. You're just gonna keep doing it. And then you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and you keep doing it, and maybe there will be times where you will doubt it, and then you will start hating doing it. Well, then just do something else. Or just change the way you've been doing things. You know, maybe you've been working during the day. Maybe you should work during the night. And just see how that changes. And maybe you've been, I don't know, smoking too much cannabis. Well, then stop and go hiking. Because the way I feel about smoking cannabis and working, yeah, you can sometimes do that, but after about a week, and that's what everybody says, and maybe it's not a week, maybe it's going to be 2 years, you're gonna hit a point where there's just nothing coming anymore. Which is why you have to stop relying on all these things. Because what boosts me in my work is also a lot of anger. And if I just get rid of the anger or try to suppress it by smoking cannabis, then what happens is, well, that's basically my reason, it's my fuel to work. And if I turn it off, then I have no reason to work. And sure, you know, we always want to be done. Yeah, we always want to be done. Everybody says that. Until you get to the point that Don Juan describes in the Carlos Castaneda books, where he says, you know, he was sick of life and now he can't get enough of it. You know, I'm not at the point yet where I say, you know, I can't get enough of it. But I think, you know, sometimes I'm there. Sometimes I realize, oh wow, time is running out. You know, I don't have all the time in the world. You know, I can stretch out time, sure. You know, I can meditate, I can live in the meditative state. But at some point, you know, time's up. And when that time comes, well, you better live your life the way you thought you could live it. Right? Because you believed in yourself and you said, hey, I can actually do something with the abilities that I have. And that doesn't mean you can do what I'm doing. That just means you can do something. And believe me, if you would try to copy me, you would fail. You know, you can use what I'm saying and what I'm doing, but you have to find your own path. And then you can say, well, challenge accepted, I'm going to copy you anyway. But it would never be you. It would just be a copy. And people would realize it. And the only thing I can say about why this works for me is not because I have millions of followers at the moment, but because I simply want to do it, right? I just want to show people, hey, there's more to spirituality than just wearing white clothes and putting a crystal around your neck. You know, that's like about, well, I have to clean my shit, right? If I'm really angry, I have to start working with that, because otherwise the anger will consume me. And I mean, you get a lot of people on the internet that talk about spirituality, but they just don't live it. I mean, they just want you to subscribe to their channel so that they can give you another yoga lesson. But, I mean, what makes you so different? I mean, you just wear the tightest pants you could find so that people will, you know, most people that watch your content are just men. They just want to get off on your tight butt. That's all there is to it. You know, if you would have some respect for yourself, you would wear different clothes. I mean, you can just wear a sports bra. I mean, you can do that. And you can just wear normal pants. I mean, just normal pants. You don't have to jump onto the, you know, let's just capitalize yoga, because as soon as it's capitalized and you jump onto it, it has nothing for you anymore. Because now it's been basically, all the deep stuff has been taken out of it and now it's just being materialized. Yeah, you know, you do yoga because you want abs. You do yoga, for what reason? Nobody knows. You know, I didn't know why I was supposed to do yoga. And the people that teach it, you know, they don't look like they understood anything. They just do it, but they can't explain it. And apart from doing it, there's nothing for them in it. You know, yeah, it makes me feel good. Yeah, alright, but why? Why? Why does yoga make you feel good? Because the body stores emotions. And if you have a lot of toxic emotions in yourself, you know, stretching it, you know, you just stretch out the crevices and the shit can come out. Yeah, but it's about energy flow. It's about the light and the dark. Yoga is not just about and feeling good. No, that's your inner fight with the darkness and the light. And you're trying to harmonize it. That's what yoga is about. And you still have to do your damn dishes. Like, if you live in an ashram, you still have to clean the toilets. Right? I mean, That's what this is about. We're here to heal and to clean. And once you've healed yourself, you will realize, well, okay, there's a lot of people that need healing. And if you work with people that need healing, you're gonna have to take care of their shit sometimes. And that means, you know, if you take a wound or a blow from someone else, well, then you have to heal again. So I'm constantly being basically emotionally, raped. And then I have to take my time and heal again because people are really vicious. And you just either learn to deal with it or you just become like everybody else. You know, that just sits around like, yeah. You're like, you learn anything. You're just a phony, right? Yeah, I was an addict once and now I'm holy. You know, now I want to do penance or something. I want to do good now. Yeah, then do good. But don't lose yourself in it. Don't become such a penetrant, you know, Christian whatever, or, you know, I don't really care. You know, you don't have to go from one extreme to the other. Unless you realize that it's just another extreme. Right? And then you can basically be free of it. Because there's no real liberation from what's going on here. I mean, this is just what's happening, and you just have to learn to accept it. You know, you cannot change everything, but you can change the way you feel about it simply by acknowledging that there are emotions and that you can learn to deal with them and you can learn to channel them. And that's what transformation is about. Maybe transmutation is the same kind of word. I'm not quite sure about that. I mean, that's how fast you can do the dishes. And I've been even talking at the same time. You don't have to be super slow. Like, you don't have to be like Grandmaster Wolf. You know, I don't get it. If you say you enlightened or you understood something, why would you be obese? You know, why would you choose to be obese? Why wouldn't you choose to be active and walk around? Yeah, who am I to judge? That's just what I think. Nobody has to be obese. And that's a fact. Nobody has to be. You're obese for your own reasons, but to me, that's just a fact. You know, I cannot take a teaching from you if you don't know how to eat. You know, that's just sorry. But if you don't even manage to transmute or channel the energy in your own system, then I'm not gonna learn from you. That's just my perspective, you know. To me, it's essential to know how to eat, what to eat, when to eat, and then how to use the energy that you just received through food in a constructive kind of way. You know, it's not just about the eating. You know, it's not. That's just my perspective. And a lot of people will get angry at that, but that's just a fact. You know, if you get angry, then you've got anger in yourself, you know. Deal with it. Just deal with it then. Don't make it my problem, you know, because I think it's yours. Right? You know, what's the point of being jealous? How can you say that? Well, I just said it. I just said it, alright? And I don't say I don't have any anger. I mean, sure, I have anger. But I'm still here. And I'm still doing this stuff. And while you are all getting shit-faced on New Year's Eve, you know, I just do different things. And while you sit around watching your children or your siblings or your parents unwrapping Christmas presents, you know, I tell them I don't want anything. Because I don't want to be a part of this kind of life. I don't like this kind of gloating over children, looking at how happy they are when they receive, what's the point of that? I mean, what are we teaching children? You have to sit around and unwrap packages so that your parents can feel happy about something. It's like, it disgusts me. Why can't we just go back to just celebrating Christmas? Why can't we just go back to celebrating Christmas and just being good on our own? Like, why do we have to live, or why do people have to live in this way where you always need something? I mean, that's a lie, and it's so obvious that it's a lie. It's so obvious. That's also the nice part about liberation. I don't have to say what you think I should say here as a spiritual person. No, I'm just a guy who realized things. I just use spirituality because it has the word spirit in it and ritual. And a part of each ritual is also the cleansing and the preparation. Just why if you make sex a ritual, you can learn to let go in it. Because if there are certain rules, such as, I don't hit my wife, and my wife doesn't hit me. Maybe there can be like a bit of sexual spanking in it. But a woman needs to know, I can trust this man, and he won't beat me up to get off on it. And he won't do all kinds of other weird things. Like, he won't keep talking me into anal sex. He may mention it once and then I say I don't want it, and that's it. And that's the whole point. Where people get a little bit confused, they think, oh yeah, because I'm spiritual now, which makes no sense to say that already. Now I can do what I want, right? Polyamor, or however you call it. It's just an escape. If you don't manage to learn how to live one person, how do you want to learn how to love several in such a deep and intimate way? Because there's always somebody that's the third wheel. There's always somebody piggybacking on the relationship of other people. But I just don't want it. Not like that. Sure, sometimes I visit friends because I feel lonely, or I feel like we have to talk about something. And then I do that. But I make sure I don't end up in their bedroom. Because that would destroy the relationship that they have. Just because I'm unable to find my own wife. Or to be with her or whatever. So the idea is you look at what other people have and then you decide what you like of it and then you see how you can get this for yourself. But not take it from others, you just create something of your own. So you maybe like what a creator is doing. Let's just stick with content creators. I want this, you think. Well, then look at what he did to get there. And that's then your guide. But, you know, just because you like what somebody does, doesn't mean you're going to get there. You may have to do completely other things. But you don't know that yet, because you haven't figured it out. So if you hear, oh yeah, let's say, oh yeah, the Barbarian Lunatic, you know, he did psychedelics. And it won't help you to just copy me. You have to find out your own way. I mean, sure, if you've done psychedelics already, and you had certain realizations, well, you can always read a book, Not Madness, Hacking Your Life with Psychedelics. I don't know what I say in these things. I mean, I know what I say in these things. But I haven't written these things for myself. I wrote it because I had the feeling I want to write it. And that's it. The rest is then up to the people. I just have no patience, which is why I keep doing this stuff. Which is why I'm good. I'm good for this job. Because I know how to motivate myself. Not because I always knew it, but because I wanted to find out how I can do the things that I actually want to do without waiting for people. Without thinking I need sex or I need psychedelics or I need all of this. I have to go. I just rendered my latest video. It just all blends together anyway. News video is called Just Sink Into It. Okay. Today's the 31st of August. And this video is for January, I'm just saying. To me, I like it. I mean, it's nice to be able to plan ahead. It's nice. But it's also a challenge to not lose yourself in all of this. And that's why I like it to do things the way that I'm doing it. Because it's my way of doing these things. And I've worked hard to get to this place where I can stand on one foot and hold my balance, at least for some time, right? Where I can slackline. I know if I go slackline, I know how to do it. I may fall still, but that's okay. So I got better at being myself, basically, because I was honing the skills that gave me the feeling I manage now to pull your weight, your own weight emotionally, right? To pull your own weight, to pull your own emotional weight. That's one of the hardest things, because sometimes you're down, yeah? And then you have to get up again. And when you're down, there are going to be people in your life that like it if you're down. Because as long as you're down, you're kind of a victim, yeah? And if you're down and your mother sees it, then she can, parent you. So you have to stop. You can accept help in terms of money, such as I'm doing, because I'm testing myself. But you cannot accept emotional, right? You cannot allow people to tell you what to do then. If somebody gives you money, then you do with it what you want. And you don't allow anyone to talk you into doing other things. If somebody gives you money and then they start telling you what to do, you just shut them out, or you don't have to return the money. You just say, leave me the fuck alone, man. Wait, you think you can give me money and tell me what to do? No. You cannot control me. I'm not your bitch. I can't do 5 albums because you tell me to do 5 albums. Which is why sometimes you just have to put in the work first, and then you get paid. You have to put in the work first, and then you get paid. Well, and if you're impatient, then you just end up like people like Chris Webby. Because he was impatient. And maybe he was just running out of time. I don't know, right? Everybody's different. Well, in the end, he accepted a contract. But then you are going to be managed. Because he did not manage to figure it out. The way he sings, he's still hooked on all these things that he'd been given. But he could have figured out to live without them. And that's tough, right? That's a challenge. You figure it out, or you'll be managed.